Hey, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here scratching the dog's head. Okay. He's done with me. So, I'm sure you know where we're all going tonight. Wish I was there in person. Oh, here, I'll do this. Can you see?
I said, say hi, go.
I know. So I'll just let you know. We only have 17 in here now. So share this out and get everybody in here.
Yeah.
And if you have a hat or a t-shirt and you want to advertise on our live streams or our videos, I'll wear them. Just saying. So anyway, we've known these folks for 4 years. Have we been doing this for 4 years since we went to Tennessee? The first thing in Tennessee.
Almost forever.
It seems like forever. We met them at an after party that almost didn't happen. A very late after party.
That's right. Yeah.
Because somebody that was having the
that was we actually
conference.
met them in Tennessee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had
in a bar.
biggest the biggest.
What, a bar? It was a restaurant.
It was a restaurant.
It was a bar
with the biggest potato I have ever had.
Yep.
And the nastiest fish.
I didn't have the fish.
So, I had barbecue. It was good.
I think Dana had barbecue because she took part of my potato, and I think I took part of her potato. Yeah. But that's where I met Dana, and I met Teresa and everybody that night.
We met Nunda for the first time there too. Nunda and John.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're hearing them talk, but they're not seeing them.
They don't know where they are. So
we don't know where they are.
We don't know where they are?
I don't know where they are.
They're in the back. They're in an outbuilding at their house. We've been there.
In an outbuilding.
An outbuilding. An outhouse building. No, it's an outbuilding.
Like
and here they are.
Look, there they are.
Here they are from the outhouse.
And there's Farmer Meemaw.
Really?
Are you full? Or did you? I don't know, Jason. Are you full or what?
Well, we started a new diet, and today it's the what's it called? The Pablo's diet. What is it?
Paleo Pablo's.
Yeah. And
Jason.
am a little on the gassy side. I think I ate too much broccoli.
Broccoli would do it.
Oh, yeah. Broccoli's full of gas. It just doesn't.
Broccoli and cabbage.
Just doesn't run your car very well.
Yeah.
No. But do you know that broccoli is the only
I don't think it's the only one.
I think it's the only food that you burn more calories eating it than you get from it.
Probably.
Just to digest it.
Yeah.
No, just the chewing process.
I think you need to check your facts.
And unless it's in soup, then you really don't have much chewing.
You just slurp it. Especially if you got okra in there.
That's like slimy.
Yeah.
Did you see my post today, speaking of okra, Robin?
Yes.
About okra fritter?
Yeah.
I posted it for you.
Yeah, I had seen back in the middle, no, I guess it was late summer, early fall, like after everybody had kind of pulled all of their okra, then everybody started posting that recipe. And I was like, seriously, guys? So I've been holding on to that okra fritter recipe since like fall of last year. So I can't wait for all of our okra to come up so that we can make it.
Our buddy Loma Acres.
Yes, Chris is in here.
What's up, Chris?
And there's the troll.
Yeah, see, I think celery is the same way. That's what I was saying. I think there's more than just broccoli.
We have to consider the source of it. Who said this? I'm just...
Huh? Oh. Deanna? Deanna's pretty smart.
Oh, yeah. Not really, because she don't know how to press the Marco Polo button to be able to return somebody's polo. She can't be too smart.
There's nothing about smart about that. That doesn't have anything to do with smarts.
So...
We lost them, Daryl. We don't have any sound.
Are you not here?
There, now we have them.
Why couldn't you hear us?
I don't know, that was strange.
That is.
Yeah, that is strange.
YouTube.
Yeah, could be. So,
The YouTube always against us.
no, Caitlin, actually, it's Samson Farm who is our troll. Mm-hmm. The title that Daryl put on this live stream for tonight says one of the oldest homesteading channels on YouTube. And how long have you two been on?
10 years. It was 10 years back in January, so really it's like 10 years and 3 months now.
10.3?
10.3.
Seriously, like it's not like they're.
Does that mean next month you can say 10-4?
That's a good joke.
But I'm bummed.
But you don't really get anything for it.
No, I was gonna say it's not like YouTube's waiting in the wings. I mean, like we were just talking about.
It's not like they're
that,
going to cut us a check.
Or it's not like we even got an email that said, "Hey, congratulations, you've been on for 10 years."
Yeah.
But in all honesty, we have seen YouTube go through major changes.
Yeah.
Major changes
Over the years.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, the changes. Because you figure when we first got started, you were monetized right away. You were monetized, and there was no there was no checks and balances with it. Whatever you put out there, you put out there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They put and believe it or not, there wasn't even the skippable ads.
No.
Back then. It was a square
The little bar at the
that
bottom.
went across the bottom.
Yep.
And you got like Billy Bob's spare ribs for $2.99 ad on there, but it was only in Tuscaloosa. So
yeah.
it took us the better part of 6 months to get our first $100. Wasn't it? It's about 6 months.
No, it took us years to get our first
It didn't
one.
take years. It might have taken about a year to get, because you didn't get any credit unless they clicked on the ad from Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure it took, like, it was a long time before we started seeing. And then, like, we got that first check, but then again, it was like years or a year or two before we got another one, because it was always that $100.
Right.
Yeah, there was always that $100 threshold. But then it started getting better when they started putting in the movie trailers and.
So you took out an ad in the Tuscaloosa newspaper for subscribers? Is that?
I think I may have, yeah.
Yeah, because when we started, it was the same way. You could have gotten paid right away, and we were getting there, and then poof, they changed their rules.
Yeah.
We still made it.
Yeah, but then they changed it, it reverted us back to not doing squat, because we didn't have. I think that was you had to have 1,000. We didn't have 1,000.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. They changed it right before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think they've changed it 2 or 3 times since then.
Oh yeah, they've changed it. They've changed the rules with monetization so many times, and it was like just sitting here thinking about it and thinking about the different ads that came across, like Bubblegum Shrimp came across.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always, but then the really cool thing.
The big scam was that they made you sign, or you didn't have to sign, but you had to clip with your electronic signature kind of thing, was that you would lose your channel if you would go to start watching your videos and you'd start clicking on the ads.
Right.
Or, if they started seeing a pattern like that.
That's how one of the homesteaders did. They got their channel, all their monetization taken away. I think she fought it for 6 months, and she didn't realize that's what she was doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Grace Andrews, who is in California, we met them at Stivers last November. Feel like we were family, even though we haven't met after the calf birth.
Oh gosh, yes, that was a very long, stressful time.
And our subscribers really stepped up. Our hardcore subscribers stepped up, like Samson's Farm, Mama Z.
I think Samson Farm probably still has PTSD. Like, I bet if that video comes across, he starts twitching because he lost a lot of sleep over that cow.
We had people that had our cell phone numbers and that basically told us, "Look, we're not tired. Go to bed, get some sleep." If anything starts to happen,
We'll give you a call.
Yep.
And so,
one time it started to rain, and so somebody messaged me. It was like, "Hey, it's getting ready to rain. You might want to go get your phone."
yeah, somebody messaged, them coyotes sound awful
Really
close. You know, and it was just awesome. I mean,
Jason, were you even at the property you're at now when you first started YouTube?
No.
No, because they've only been here for 7 years.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
See, I know this.
Well, I'm dragging this out of him.
See, that's why I'm Mama Share.
I'm dragging this out of him.
Because I know this stuff.
So the thing is that there are some people, you know, we've grown quite a bit in the last couple of months. So a lot of people, you know, there's some people out there that are kind of new to our full story and don't know the whole, you know, the whole shebang of who we are and what we are. Most of the people I recognize in here, but I know occasionally there are people that don't know our full, you know, our full story.
And even some of us that do know, you don't know who you are and what you are.
Well, it seems like every time we tell the story, we remember other stuff, and and so we're like, oh, remember that?
You remember that?
Well, go for it. Floor is yours. It's your show.
Let's see. We started homesteading before it was cool.
7 years ago. Oh.
Yes. Yeah, it feels like it.
Because we've been homesteading. Carol is 15. So we started before Carol was born.
Wait. Yeah. No, we didn't. Let's
just let her get there.
No, she was born right across from the Masters.
Yeah.
We weren't homesteading then.
We had honeybees in the small garden with your dad.
No. Not there we didn't.
Then where did your daddy garden at with us? Because he didn't move with us to...
He didn't garden with us.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so moving right along now.
But we've been doing it at least 15 years.
What started the homesteading thing? Was it Jason or was it Robin?
I think it was me, wasn't it? Or maybe it was kind of me.
It was, I mean, really, to be honest, it was more...
I think it was a team thing.
Yeah, so what happened is that we both come from a background where family members of ours had gardened or raised animals in some capacity. So it wasn't like we were completely, like, unaware of things. Like, my dad graduated from Oklahoma State. He was in, you know, the agriculture fraternity there, and, you know...
You know what? You are right. We did not garden with him there.
Mm-mm.
Because I remember now, I almost wanted to put him in the washing machine. Because, well, see, he was living with us.
Jason, and, you know that she's right.
And her dad had a Coca-Cola habit. He had to have like a case of Coca-Cola a day. I mean, that's all. You bleed the man, and the secret recipe came out. and so I was buying him all these. I was buying his Cokes. He was living with us. And so I asked his permission to marry Robin, and he's sitting in my house doing his laundry and looks at me and says, "I'll think about it."
Ooh.
Now, this was shortly after we almost got shot at a Walmart because we were in line. Now, granted, look, her daddy had dementia, and he was at an age he just didn't care anymore. And so we're standing there in line. I'm buying him some more Coca-Colas and stuff like that. And this lady had a baby. And you always have, when somebody has an ugly baby, you're just like, now that's a baby. Okay? Well, this was a baby.
That was my dad's thing. Like, he always, like, because people be like, oh, look at my baby. Like, oh, that's a baby.
And so, we're sitting there, and you know how when a baby is, like, real ugly, you can't stop looking at it? Because you're expecting babies to be cute. They're like puppies. They're supposed to be cute. But when they come out like, you can't take your eyes off of it. You're like, what happened? And then you start looking at the parent, looking back at the baby, looking at the parent going, maybe she's the babysitter. Because how could, the parent would be decently looking, and then you look down at the baby and you're like, you must have just sinned a lot. Well, we're standing there in line, and she makes eye contact with Robin's dad, the lady's, the mom. And he said, that's a handsome little fella you got there. And she got all in an uproar. She's like, he is a she. This is my daughter. And without missing a beat, Robin's dad goes, just think of the money you're going to save on a prom dress.
Oh, Lord.
I wasn't there. I couldn't do anything about it.
And now Jason is banned from Walmart's.
Well, that's because I was getting even with Tommy Alderman from Alderman Farms.
So Grace wants to know, how much property do you homestead? How long have you been there? Any cows escaped lately?
We have 21 acres.
Mm-hmm. We've been here, it'll be 8 years in October.
And no,
the last one was our last video when I said, I think it's titled something like Not So Lucky This Time or something like that. That was, no, I take that back. When we did our fencing video, we didn't tell everybody we didn't make it a big deal that the cows got out, but they got out.
There's no proof that the cows actually got out because
by
the time we got over there, they were already back in our pasture. So that person could have just wanted to see us.
That's true. It's very possible.
Wanted to show off her baby.
You used to have a lot more trees there, too.
And
trees are evil.
Yes. See,
especially where Jason's concerned.
For some reason,
hey Jonathan,
whoever way back in the day, because I got some good, healthy oak trees on this property. Some of them probably pushing 300-400 years old.
Yeah, they're massive.
But I also, for some reason, somebody fell in love with sweet gums. Or they tried to plant one sweet gum.
And it just took over.
And then all the sweet gum babies took over. Because I am constant. It seems like, and it's like a game now. Because I'll cut down like 2 sweet gums, then I turn around and there's like 5 more. I'm like, where'd y'all come from?
Mm-hmm.
They're like rabbits.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but they're not friendly to the Velociraptor fencing.
Because they're a soft wood, a very flimsy wood, and so if you hurt a sweet gum's feelings, the branches will fall. If not the whole tree, they might. It's kind of like a baby turkey. They just be like, "Okay, fine, I'm just going to die."
Jeez. So how many animals of each species do you have?
Ouch.
Yeah.
Now, when we agreed to come on the show, you didn't say nothing about math.
All right, let's start with the biggest animal we have, which is a cow.
Ooh, I thought you were going in a completely different direction.
We have 8 total right now. Hey, Goldchild, what's up? Mm-hmm. I mean 6. I'm sorry. No, 8. Yeah.
This is how you know you've been homesteading too long, because you don't even know how many of one animal you have.
Because Carol made this really simple. Because of having to count them all the time, she made it really easy. 2 steers, 2 bulls, 2 cows, 2 heifers.
And 2 of the neighbors.
But we don't have 2 heifers anymore.
Oh, you said 2 calves.
2 calves, that's what I meant.
Yeah, they're not calves anymore.
Calves. 2 heifers.
Okay. So we have 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a plethora of ducks. Don't even ask me how many ducks we've got, because we
started with 20 when we came up here. And they very quickly got picked off or left or whatever. We don't know.
The entire Elbert County now has its own flock of Muscovy ducks.
So then we found somebody on like Craigslist or something like that was trying to get rid of their Muscovy flock. So we took on like 20 more.
Jeez.
So we got those guys and brought them here. Well, most of them have...
And it was very... I'll see them every now and then when I go down into the beaver swamp. I'll be like, "What's up, fellas?" They're like, it's like they all paired up. was like one dude got like 4 hens, and they were like, peace out. And some went down to the bottom of the beaver pond over here.
Yeah, because we have a lot of water around us here.
Some went over to the other 2 ponds over there. This one back here. And then every now and then, it's like we got to have a family reunion. You'll have a bunch of them show up.
Yeah.
And they'll be here for a couple of hours. And it's like, I guess Uncle Fred started drinking too much or something. And they all just left again.
And it's really weird in the springtime because a lot of times the hens will just kind of disappear. But then they always come back in the spring to have their babies. Like, we'll have a lot of females just show up. And then they'll be, like, after we take the babies, they're off and gone again. So, we have a lot of ducks. Pigs.
We got a fair amount of pigs.
We got a lot of pigs. We probably have about 30 pigs total.
We got 30 now.
We got the original 3. We got Easter. Is it Easter or Scarface?
Scarface is still alive.
Okay, so that's 4.
We got.
How many piglets did that one have? 5.
The 2 that are going to Nunda right now. Then we have our 2 that we're going to harvest with them.
Okay, maybe 20, maybe not 30.
And then you got 6 up here.
Yeah, we have like
and then 6,
20
the
or
6
30.
new ones.
Somewhere around in there. We got a lot of pigs.
We have pigs for sale. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, we have a lot of pigs. We have our. It's like chicken math. You start out with 2 females and a male, and if you don't.
Okay, No. That should have never come out of, especially come out of your mouth. It's like chicken math. No, because your chicken math is, I get scared if you are going into town and I know you're passing 2 or 3 tractor supplies that you just may stop to save the chickens.
I am a reformed. I am no longer a tractor supply-aholic. I don't do tractor supply chicks anymore, especially after this
year. She brings home plants now.
Well, she found McMurray hatcheries.
They deliver.
Yeah, and let me tell you something about Murray McMurray. They have a lady that works there.
First name basis, I take it.
Oh, yeah.
Ginger, that's my homie.
Ginger's a very nice lady.
Give me another cute
Ginger
box full.
And Robin have become like 2 peas in a pod.
Robin, what's that in your hand? Nothing. Folks, I will never forget. I will never forget that afternoon. I don't have anything. Yes, she tries to hide it under her shirt.
That was a rough ride home.
I was going to say she traveled with the turkey and John Deere in the back seat.
Yeah, half a dozen turkeys under her shirt. Her shirt just.
Yep. So,
Morgan said it's chicken math and pig algebra.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, Ginger will call Robin now. Because they quit texting via Instagram because I was watching.
Because Jason had the account too.
And I'd have to start to put a stop to it. But Ginger would be like, so, we got this one bird that I think you would really like. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna
send you a couple.
We're gonna send you a couple. And like 30 birds show up. Because then they go to a private text message and then Robin places an order. And I don't ever know because I let her take care of the money. And so I don't ever know. And then all of a sudden, at 6:30 in the morning, my phone rings to go to the post office to pick up the birds. Your birds are here. Birds? What birds? So then I ride down and I get like 17 boxes of chickens.
No, you are such a king of exaggeration. But I will say that we went from doing 15 turkeys last year to doing 30 this year.
But I'm the king of exaggeration.
There you go, pigonometry. I love it.
That's cool. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Pigonometry.
I thought you started ordering the chickens gross at a time here.
Don't tempt her.
Let's not give her any ideas.
See? Don't tempt her.
Because I bet you now it's going to be ginger.
Oh yeah, there's a break. There's a break when you buy them gross at a time.
Hey, Daryl.
Yes, sir.
You may not be allowed down there anymore in the driveway. You're gonna have to drop me.
No.
You're gonna have to drop me and Smudge off at the gate.
Yeah, no, we've got total right now so far. We've got 200 Cornish cross coming in 100 increments. So we have 100 coming in April and another 100 coming right at the end of May.
Okay, so I wasn't too far off with the gross counts.
No, we'll have 200 there, and then we're gonna have 30 turkeys coming. I think I've got 30.
So you notice how she emphasized, I have 200 meat birds, 200 broilers coming, and
I have 30 turkeys,
and
then I have, I think 30 more layers coming, or 20 more layers coming.
and then
Do you have any guineas? Or,
No.
or quails?
No, we're not doing any guinea. Quail, I'm kind of, we're
wait
weird.
until she gets to the web feed.
The quails aren't big enough for them anymore.
But then I don't know if he's still in here, but
Yeah, good old Morgan.
I was
he's here.
inspired this year to take on ducks, to add ducks, because everything that we've done, everything we have going on our farm here, I feel like we've got a pretty good handle on it. I always try to explain, like with homesteading, what we do anyway is I feel like it's kind of like that old plate trick where you see somebody standing there and they've got all of these little sticks and the plates, and then they'll take a plate and they spin it and they put it up on the stick, and then they'll get another one and they'll spin this one and go back and spin this one a little bit, and then before you know it, they got like 50 plates going and they're spinning each one of them to keep them going. And I feel like that's how, like when you have a farm, like that's kind of how it goes. And so I feel like at this point right now, we've got the pigs and the cows, man, we just have to touch those every once in a while. And, even with quail, we've been doing quail a long time. So if we ever want to get back into those and doing those full swing, that's something we can just touch the plate. Goats, that's a newer thing, but we've been doing it almost a year now with Betty and Wilma.
Well, we did goats before, and we weren't equipped.
No, we weren't. Well,
we weren't equipped, and we didn't have the knowledge.
Right. We didn't have the knowledge of hardly anything at that point. Like, we were still kind of running through, even starting to realize, the difference between solitary animals and herd animals. Like, it's just different stuff like that. And so. And
we didn't realize that goats also came with a degree in parkour.
Yeah.
And it's not, every time that you hear of goats traveling in rental vehicles.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So was that Photoshop?
So with that, it was like, we got that plate and we've got it spinning pretty good now. So now I feel like it's almost time to start spinning another plate. And so I was talking with Ginger and I was like, look, here's the thing. I would really like to do some ducks this year, but I'm going to need your help. And she, just like any other time I ask her, she's always very forthcoming with information. She's always willing to help me no matter what. I mean, like I've messaged her late at night and she'll message me back, because we had something happen with when we first had the guineas. We didn't know, there's a lot of weird things with guinea keats, and we didn't know them all. And so, yeah. So I was messaging her like super late at night, wondering what, and then when Jaja died, like that was a whole nother thing. So anyway, but, I saw on here, so Juju B said, Sherry, I used to manage for Enterprise. I've seen everything in our rentals. We love Enterprise. That's just all I can say about that. Dang. Honey, why does this car smell like a goat rented it first?
That's just rumor. No pictures.
Actually, I have film.
We have it on Marco.
Okay, so whatever else do we, because we still haven't even gotten through the list of animals that we got.
No, so we did the pigs and the cows. You jumped and went to the ducks. Chickens, we have 50.
We got a goose that won't leave.
We got like over 30 chickens right now. And only 3 are hens. Roosters, There's roosters. 3 roosters.
Try to kill me
and we have a goose. We have 4 turkeys, 3 females and a male. And then we have this goober.
Somebody was asking about you.
Is Lagatha coming in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how big she's got.
I was just wondering where she was. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They grow really fast.
I'm surprised she still fits in the dog bed.
Yeah. No, she loves that thing. Of course, I'm going to post a picture on Instagram tomorrow. I have a picture of her sleeping in it, and it's hilarious.
Just like Apollo did.
She's had a rough couple of days, though.
Yeah, she sat on a honeybee on Sunday, and it kind of stung her butt, and then a wasp got her today.
Yeah. So when she was getting ready to go back for more, I had to pull her by her tail to get her out. So it was not good. So Dee said, I could imagine driving goats in a rental was something like driving 4 hours with pigs in the back of a Jeep. No, yours was much worse.
We've been working with Lagatha, and she's 3 months old?
Almost 3 months.
Almost 3 months old. She can sit, she can down, she can stay, she can come. Mm-hmm. She can heel. Yeah. But we're still working on the heel. Thank you.
And she can give hugs.
Yes,
she gives hugs first thing in the morning. She likes to get up on everybody and give everybody a hug every morning. So
yeah, I have a big tug toy here for her. So
she loves
tug toys.
Oh, I got a real big one. I found that. I thought, forgot to put that in the box.
So have you had any animals that you no longer have and are glad to be rid of?
Besides teenage boys?
I'm not going there. If that's your answer of choice.
The only thing that we don't have right now that we've had in the past is rabbits and a donkey. I won't have a donkey again.
Yeah, we won't do a donkey again. So we're glad we got rid of it.
Yeah, we're glad we got rid of the donkey. But we will definitely get rid of the sheep that we have. And we'll get a different breed of sheep. We will definitely change that. We want to get into hair sheep. So, and I think Jason's been talking a lot with Jonathan. Jonathan's got Dorpers, is that right? I think so. Is that the name of them? And I believe they are hair sheep. And so that's something we're looking into. So that's what I was thinking, if I start with ducks and I get that plate spinning, then we can go to Dorper sheep next. We're just a big old zoo here.
How is your perimeter fencing project doing? Is your perimeter fencing around your property, is it all good to go now? Or I know that you've had some challenges.
Yeah, it's all good to go. Well, kind of good to go.
I know you had some.
Are you talking about for Giz?
No, I'm talking around your property where the trees fall down and take it down.
Oh, that's always
that's a work in progress.
That's always going to be a work in progress, because a lot of those trees that are falling are not falling on our property, and it's woods. So getting the owner to come back and do it, they won't do it. So when they fall, you got to go get them to help them to get them to either clear it themselves or you help them clear it, and then they usually have to repair the fence. But for the ones that we have on this side, we have such a great relationship with them, and he's one of our deputies that I don't really mess with them that much, unless it's just like a big huge tree and it'll take me a couple of days to get it down. Then I'll go get him to come help, because they also let me hunt and trap on their property to help keep the predators in balance and everything in control. And then of course the deer hunting and stuff. So I don't really bust his chops about him replacing fencing, because I mean it takes me from 21 acres of land to be able to hunt and trap. I got 60 over there, so that takes me over 80 acres to be able to hunt and trap with.
Well,
and then
I just
about letting us lease their pastures or something to be able to start running more cows, because I want to grow our herd.
Yeah, I just knew that you've had some challenges here in the past where your cows decided to go on a walkabout.
Yep, it's usually we got really lucky these last 2-3 storms. We got a lot of rain and a little bit of wind, but nothing bad enough to drop trees this time.
Well, not just that, but like I think the cows are getting very fond of Carol. And so every morning or even in the middle of the day, like if she just goes to the back porch and just calls for them.
She screams out, she'll go, Marco! And then they move.
And they can be all the way in the back.
And they come running.
And they will come running all the way to this front gate, and she'll take them some hay or she'll take them some feed or something just to kind of, keep them used to. And it's funny because if she doesn't call them,
they start calling her.
They'll start mooing in the middle of the day. Like it's the funniest thing. And I just think it's cute. So they have kind of gotten used to doing that. So they don't really wander too much. So I think that the last time, the reason why they were out is because we have 2 bulls, not on purpose. We had 4 steers that, we got as final payment when Jason was working at a dairy down the street. The guy couldn't pay us his final paycheck, so he paid us in cows. And so we got 4 bull calves, and Blaze was supposed to band all 4 of them. And either he didn't band all 4 of them, or he did and one of them broke, which most of y'all that have ever banned an animal, that really doesn't happen very often.
I mean, it'll happen.
It does, but it doesn't happen very often.
It really depends on if he just grabbed any old, if he wasn't paying attention. Because, when you go and you buy the rubber bands to band, they come in a big fat pack.
Yeah, they do.
And so you have to really pay attention, because as they sit there over time, they'll get dry rotted and they get weaker. And so he could have grabbed one of the old packs that he didn't throw away in his teenage brain when he was supposed to. And he could have, put an older one on there that ended up being...
I don't know. But whatever the case, we one day went out there and they start growing up. And we start walking around looking at everybody. And at that point, we had already invested in a bull. And we were walking out, out in the pasture, and all of a sudden we're looking at everybody growing, and we kind of looked over at Ferdinand, and we're like,
he's just a swinging.
Wait a minute, one of these things just doesn't belong here. And, so what's happened is now, he is trying to, test the waters with Freckles, our longhorn. And so that's kind of what's happened is they'll get to pushing around, and then one of them will knock over part of the fence that's already weakened by a tree, and they just take off.
Keep on going.
They're never really, it's never been really about food. It's just, it hasn't been like that for over a year. The last time we had something like that happen, it was Daisy, and we didn't know it yet, but she was pregnant. And she was eating for two. So she was just, grazing down the street, just eating grass. So we had to amp up our hay that year because she was hungry.
Have y'all ever had a dog that purred?
No, Jason, I have not.
Not like physically purred like a cat, but like makes a lot of...
Listen.
Oh, that's an under the breath growl.
Yeah, but she does it when you hit her tickle spot. That's what she does.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing. I've never seen one do that. So Tori had a question. We know the cows favor Carol. What other animals favor each of the rest of the household? The goats love Ladessa.
The goats love Ladessa. And everybody else, all the other ones. Well, Leia and Pinky love you because you spoil them. And
I've seen her do that.
I don't have anything that loves me anymore.
I'm gonna do
because even Lagatha is starting to favor Robin. She stole my puppy from me.
Hey, baby. You trying to figure out how to get to me?
Look at her.
Look at her. She's like, let me come over to Mama. Come here, baby girl. So right now in our front yard, in the kitchen garden, we have a ton. Are you serious right now? You have to let me talk. In the kitchen garden, we have a ton of curly dock. And my girls love curly dock. And so I'm going to dig up a bunch of it and take it over to them. And I think I'm going to film it.
And when she says girls, she's talking about the two sows, our two breeder sows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They
Pinky
love
and Leia.
Pinky and Leia love, I'll tell you how much they love curly dock. Pinky just had her babies. And I'm talking this was a couple weeks ago. She had her babies, and we needed to get inside to where her nest was to be able to do the filming that we did with the animals do weird things or whatever video. And so we needed to get inside the pen, and they're never truly aggressive with us. They're just normal moms, and they don't really like us being in there. But I can take some curly dock, and her maternal instincts go out the window. I can take the curly dock and throw it over on the whole other side of the pen, and she will take off, and she doesn't care about her piglets in that moment. So, you want to go back to Daddy now? Go back to Daddy.
Morgan says give Lagatha some catnip.
Oh God, no. She'll be,
She is definitely, and I don't know if it's all Rotties in general, but Apollo was this way, Zeus was this way, Jake was this way, and she's this way. Every time after a bath, they just go full-blown crazy. Mm-hmm. And
what's wrong, baby? I know it.
She's very verbal.
Yes, very, very verbal. She's probably the most verbal Rottie I've ever had.
I know it. Okay, relax.
I have never had one this verbal.
There you go. Yeah, she just loves to get her. I think she's wants to lay down, baby. Yeah. She loves to, she's in that stage where they like to bite and chew on everything, and
Mm-hmm.
puppies do that. And, so we're having to make sure that we give her.
It's almost time for another bath, because you stink.
Yeah.
You got into some mess today.
I'll tell you one thing, though, that drives me crazy with her is when I try to get into my beds and start pulling stuff, she is fascinated with carrots. So if I go to start pulling carrots, the bad thing is like the little green, greens on the end. As soon as I go to pull them, she's coming up behind me and she's snagging them out of my hand. So I have to be really careful with which, like I have to hold them from or I'm saying that wrong. When I hold them, I usually hold them by the green side. So she goes after the carrot and she'll rip the carrot like right out of my hand. So I've had to get to the point where as soon as I pull them up out of the ground, I have to put my hand over the carrot part of it because otherwise she'll just tear them right out of my hand. And she tries to get up in the beds and like dig one up and pull it up.
Yeah, she loves carrots.
So
heck, she likes the seeds.
And it's a mixture of it's hard, and so it's something for her to chew on.
Right,
and they're sweet.
Yeah.
So
feels good on her teeth.
Yeah,
her gums.
Well, and I know that's true because we had a couple carrots that were in the fridge that, and that's something, I'm going to go back to that in a second, but they were in the fridge and I pulled them out like the next day and, they're not as hard when they sit in the fridge. And so I would take them out to give them to her because nobody wanted to eat them, give them to the dog. And she would take one bite of them and she's like, no, I don't want it. So she likes them when they come straight out of
Great Pyrenees that we have out there.
Yep.
How's Giz getting along with Lagatha?
Well, she's not. She hasn't finished her parvo shots yet, so we kept them separated. I've held her and went out there and introduced them. And Gizmo looked at her, looked at me, looked at her, looked back at me, and turned around and walked away.
Kind of like how Apollo did.
Oh God, that was oh God, that was so funny. I still have those videos when Giz was chewing on him.
Yeah.
Unrelentless. Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was a good boy. And so,
well, Jason, getting back to your property here.
Okay.
We've talked about the animals quite a bit. What about the gardening? You no longer have a front yard. That's been replaced.
Yeah, it's been replaced. Well, see, one of our major inspirations for that is in this room, in the chat room right now, Lone Star Living. He has been a longtime subscriber of ours, and he's always been very active, and he never missed a live stream. He would always comment. So he don't comment as much anymore. Just saying.
He lurks.
But he got frustrated with us because we always do our best to try to encourage and maybe even bully a little bit for people to put some seed in the ground. Just try to become sustainable with one thing. Even if it's just some garlic outside, or if it's just a tomato or a squash plant or something. And he got so frustrated with us one time. He goes, I'll never forget as long as I live. That's great, Jason. You got 21 acres, but some of us are still living in an apartment or living in a neighborhood. And I said, okay. And so we proceeded in 2019. We started Grow Foods, Not Lawns. And we proceeded to safely cut down a bunch of trees.
That's
safely.
That's not necessarily.
Let it go.
Okay, I'm going to pull a Jason. Did anyone die?
Did anybody die? No. Did the trees make it onto the ground? Yes.
Do I still have a roof? Yes. Did my cars get dented? No.
And you still have a husband.
There you go.
You still got all your kids.
We still don't know what's buried under the ground there.
But
anyway.
It's funny because I don't think Jason realized I think while he was building them, he probably knew there was a lot. But after we got them all filled and everything, we've had them for almost 2 years now. And I was drawing everything out and figuring out where things were going. And, He's like, well, you don't have, because I kept talking about putting this here and putting that there. He's like, well, Robin, you don't have that many beds out there. And I was like, honey, there's like 40 something beds out there. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I think we have like 42 or 44 beds or something. And then he's added more. So
now there's more.
And everyone's a different color.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like
there's a reason for that.
It's like a Rubik's Cube.
For that.
Yeah.
One of our main goals here, besides being completely 100% sustainable, which we are knocking on the door with, and somebody's actually coming to the door to answer. That's how close we are. Is to be able to do kind of like an education center to where we can open it up for field trips for kids at school, but mostly for special needs children and vets with TBI. And and the reason why those beds are colored the way that they're colored, and even that the pig pen in the back is covered.
You almost called it.
Is colored the way that it's colored, and everything is colored the way that it's colored because these colors are soothing. And Robin's also going to have a, what do you call it? Texture sensory garden.
So I'm already like knocking on the door of that because I've been working really hard to get my perennial herbs up and going. And right now I have a carpet of oregano and I have a carpet of peppermint, sweet mint mixture. So both of those are like really doing well, and both of those are great for kids. Like kids love to be able to like run their hand across it. And what's really cool with the oregano is when you run your hand across it, it's almost like a shag carpet where it'll, fall back into place after you run your hand across it. And then of course they can smell it in their hands afterwards. So, I'm working really hard on doing that. I think Homestead Paradise asked a question. When does our wisteria start blooming? It started this week. So I just saw some. We were sitting out here and I saw all the flowers have started to bloom. So we are definitely, but I will tell you, I'm so glad that I waited on seedlings because this morning, well, for one, we had a horrible, horrible storm this past weekend. So that would have knocked out anything that you put in the ground.
Yeah, it started like, Thursday, and it started Wednesday night. And because we couldn't upload the video for Thursday, and it didn't end until Sunday night. There was wind and rain, and
it was really bad.
It was just, there was like a tornado to the west of us, like 4 or 5 miles away.
Yeah.
And so that was a little scary. I was on the phone with one of my doctors who's in Elberton, and he's like, "Oh, there's the tornado alarm. Gotta go," and hung up. So
yeah,
I'll find out on Thursday if he's still alive.
Yeah. So we had all of that happen, and then I woke up this morning and was getting ready for work, and we had frost on the windshield. So I was like, here we go. Basil and oregano are her favorite. She has major smell sensory issues. I'm rooting some lemongrass. Be really careful with the lemongrass though, because it's sharp. Like I've had it cut my hand wide open. The blades of grass are like super sharp. Like they hurt. They're worse than a paper cut.
Yes. But they are so good when you put them in boiling water and make tea.
Yeah, you can take a bunch of the grass and like just fold it over in a bunch, put it in like a gallon pickle jar, and put hot water in it and just let it steep. Oh wow.
Well, moving into your garden, I know that you grow a very large variety of items. Is there anything that
she loves eggplant?
Is there anything that you do not like to grow or will not grow again? like loofah maybe, or?
We don't have a choice with that.
Yeah, that's gonna come back every year no matter what.
Did we tell y'all that like we had some that grew voluntarily this past year, right?
We are hosed when it comes to loofah because we had some volunteers come back, and Robin's like, "Just leave him alone, it'll be okay." Well, then Robin didn't go out there and pick him up, but then Lagatha comes along, and Lagatha found one of them where it completely dried on the vine.
Oh Lord!
And she picked it up and went running through the garden, through the Tetris garden, and was shaking her head back and forth. And I'm just sitting there. I started crying because one loofah has like 800 million seeds in it. It's like that rain thing from Australia with the Aborigines. You turn it upside down and go ding ding ding. It sounds like rain. That's a loofah gourd. That's all that thing was. And she just shaking her head and
yeah, and you see, because they're black seeds, right? So they're like flying in the air. So between that and Sydney deadheading all of my marigolds this past year, every time he would come, he'd deadhead a marigold, and he would just walk all over the property, just dropping seeds all over. So I already have seen some coming up in the actual pots, like, because he would, break them off, and some of them would just fall straight into the pots that they were in. So I'm gonna have marigolds coming out of my eyeballs, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So, and we already have things that, like, it was really funny. Last year, we let our mustards and our collards go to seed. And we did like a great video on how to save them and all that stuff. But what we didn't realize was we didn't collect all the seed.
Well, no, it was when we were trimming them off. Some of them would break open and they would fall. Or I would hand them off to the teenagers and they would try to shove them in the bag. And so seeds were going all over the place. And
so we have like Japanese red giant mustard just growing randomly in the yard, and we've got collards growing in different parts. And then, like, at some point, they must have, like, decided they didn't want to, like, put up any more seed, and they just took them outside and just tossed them like they were going to toss them over the fence. And there must have been wind blowing or something, because right where my herb garden is now, with all of where the aquaponics is, up underneath it, there was tons of I guess it's just the regular mustard, like green wave mustard or something, like mustard greens. Now, and they're super spicy.
Now, Jujubee in the chat said something about that maybe that's what she was doing wrong with her because she's having trouble with loofahs because she babies them. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what you're doing wrong. When you plant your loofahs, go out there, you cuss at them, you spit on them, you call them names, you just be downright ugly to them, and they will take over. You have to get them motivated, and they do well with anger. Like some plants you have to sing to. Loofahs are from Satan himself, so they do better with negativity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the loofah are very easy to grow. They grow very similar to a squash or a zucchini in the same family. But, one or two seeds to start. And when they start to come up, they are very easy to separate. I would not start
go out there and tell it its mother was a rotten tomato.
The only other thing I'll tell you that I did learn is when you take them from being inside, because one thing you have to take into account is loofah take a long time to grow. They're like 180 days, I think. Like, it's a long time. It's like 6 months. So if you have a shorter growing season, you may have to figure something out to be able to get them before your first frost.
And husbands that are trying to watch March Madness right now, and their wife is in this chat, listen to me. Put your March Madness on pause and listen to me. Do not trust your wife when she comes to you and says, I heard that the loofahs, when they're this size, they taste really good. you will cut your mouth up, and they are nasty.
Tori said we're leaving future loofahs to the new homeowners. Oh, and I saw some passion flowers starting for them too.
Now, see, passion flower is one I would like to start.
Grace, yes, we are planting companion flowers. So one of the things, and just like how we were talking about with, 220 is what Google says. I've not heard that. I always heard 180. So I don't know. I mean, but it does. It takes a long time to grow loofah. So with companion plants, we've done marigolds. I've done echinacea. I've done a lot of herbs that are companions, and I've also done, plants or vegetables that are companions with each other. But the thing is that I've never really tried to just grow flowers. And so this year I'm trying to do that. And in true Robin fashion, I opened up every single poppy seed.
Oh, hold on. Let me get the mic closer. So that way nobody misses anything of this story. Anytime you start a story with in true Robin fashion, my back hurts.
So I have I think I had 8 or 10 different poppy seed varieties from Baker Creek. And they are
hold on.
Ding! They are a surface sow seeds. So you literally just throw them on the ground and water them in and walk away. And so at first I was trying to keep them in lines and do some kind of something with them. And eventually I was just like, no, this isn't going to work, because think about how small a poppy seed is. And you'll have in one of those big, huge envelopes, when you think about how small these seeds are, you'll have 300 seeds. And so I was trying to just, put a couple out here and there, and then the wind started blowing and other things started happening. So finally I just opened up all 8 or 10 packets and I just all over the front of the garden. And so that patch right there in front of the house on the right hand side is covered in poppy seedlings right now. It looks like grass, but it's poppy seedlings. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, because I'm sure that some of them will choke each other out. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah.
Well, you could always go out there and thin them out. Oh.
Well, so I wasn't really thinking about this when I really started looking at everything, but that bed is so wide, it's going to be very hard for me to get in there to actually try and thin stuff out, because it's 3 feet or so wide.
We'll probably go in there right now when they're
once they get bigger, we might be able to do something, but right now it's a little challenging right now. So Tori said, have you ever grown lion's ear? No, I want to, but I'm a little concerned because on the back of the packet, it says something about it being a narcotic or something. Doesn't it say something it has some kind of feeling? So don't let the DEA find those poppies.
Well,
I think there's a specific type for that type of poppy. But I have of course, I'm going to have all of the crazy ones, there's a purple, silver gray one or something that's really Pandora. There's a Pandora and, but I have a lot of the beautiful colored ones. I'm not growing lambs. So she said I grew some lambs or some lion's ear. The flowers hurt. That's interesting. I know that another thing that we're growing this year, I picked up a plant last year of comfrey. And so we have comfrey growing, but I have I think it's 4 plants in one pot. And so I have to break those up and move those, put those somewhere. But comfrey is definitely, it can be an invasive plant. So I got to figure out where I want to put it. A funny story about invasive plants. I put some mint in a bed, in a square bed. It's only like 3 by 3. And it did really well. And then I tried to dig it all up and move it somewhere else last year. And it still came back. Like I had peppers growing in that bed and I had lemongrass growing in that bed. And then all of a sudden this like mint just started showing up everywhere. So we just left it be because mint was a companion to both of those plants. No big deal. We left it alone. We pulled everything out at the end of the year, got the lemongrass out, got the tomatoes out, and proceeded to try and dig up all of the mint again. We took it all out. We put it in the new herb bed. I walked out there yesterday, and lo and behold, bloop, there's like 3 little mint leaves coming up out of the ground.
They have very deep roots.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. And when I say all you need to do is leave a piece like this big, that's all it needs. Like, and it doesn't have to be exposed to light. It can grow up underneath the ground, and then just one day it shows its ugly head. Yeah. So
I have it everywhere in the back by the driveway, don't I? Yeah. Yeah, that and wild onions
everywhere.
I have a bed. The bed that's right under Carol's window. We planted some sweet mint in there, and I knew it would take over, and I'm okay with that right there because we use it a lot for tea. And so I like to have a good bit because I know Jason will just walk out there and take 2 or 3 leaves 2 or 3 times a day to put it in his tea. And so I'm okay with that. But that's why I posted that picture in the Nation about that plant that's got those serrated leaves. I do think it's a bee balm, but I'm not sure.
Okay, hold on. Daryl has a phone call here.
Okay, I think we have a phone call, so. This is Daryl. Go ahead.
Hello, is this still family live stream? We would like to ask a question for the humongous Bear Homestead.
I think humongous Bear. Are you ready to answer a question?
Oh, I'm ready to do a lot more than answer a question. I didn't even know you put the phone number up yet.
He didn't.
Blue cheese really has mold in
it. Does blue cheese really have mold in it? That is your daughter. Dee said you're welcome.
So y'all put her up to it.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, blue cheese has mold in it.
And that horse does weigh 15
Did we get disconnected?
Nope, you're still there.
No, you're still there. I'm sorry, you can't probably hear what they're saying, but take my advice. When you hang up, you run.
Why would I be running? I don't know this humongous Bear Homestead.
So, caller on the phone, we saw part of a video that was being edited this afternoon.
I don't know if you're going to have to speak up for her to hear you.
Oh, she can't hear me? Oh, that's because you're holding the phone.
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, you can ask her. Yeah, Francine, you're right. The apple does not fall far from the tree. That is so true with these.
Sherry's inquiring about some.
What is apple?
What is apple?
What is apple?
Are you talking about like the phone? Why would a phone fall from a tree?
Touché, very good.
Well, she's wanting to know something.
What was it doing up in the tree?
Maybe editing a video this afternoon or something?
Very interesting.
That kitchen better be clean. I mean,
Is the kitchen clean?
Yes, my kitchen in Russia is very clean.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, goodness gracious. Do me a favor and don't do any squelchy farts on the phone.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
On a related note, I have to go do something, so I will hand it off to my comrade.
That would be very nice of you.
You have a comrade?
Yes.
And okay, who's the comrade? We're waiting.
It's me.
It's you.
It's me.
Okay. Hi, comrade.
Hello.
Hello. Are you in Russia too? Or are you just in a rush?
Yes and yes.
This must be the bashful Russian.
Very much so.
Ask her if the kitchen's clean.
Is the kitchen clean?
My part is.
And how is your part determined? Do you have a line drawn through the kitchen?
No, see, comrade does rover, I do dishes.
Comrade does rover?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what is rover?
Countertop, stove, floor. Basically, I do the dishes, she does the rest of it.
The younger one does dishes. The other one does everything else.
Ah. So how's that called rover?
She's roaming around.
Oh, roaming around. A roamer.
Well,
No,
could be.
it's
Rover. Rover.
Rover.
But like the Mars rover, right?
Mhm.
The rover. So, yeah. Anyway, I can't even with them.
It's
We've
you.
been
You're
doing
the one
some
who.
filming.
Yeah,
We've been
you're-
doing some filming lately, and I hate that Morgan is gone. But Morgan's been doing a lot of ASMR stuff lately,
Mhm.
and Carol is fascinated with that. She thinks that, and it fits right up her alley because she's had some sensory stuff in the past. So I'm pretty sure it's right up her alley. And so she has started, whenever we're filming, she'll like get all up on the microphone and she'll start making, all of these noises, and she'll start speaking in a certain voice, and it's the funniest thing to watch. It's so
And
funny.
to listen to.
Yeah.
Anywho, I have to run.
Okay, well, thank you very much for calling. You be sure the kitchen is clean, and we'll try to keep them busy here for a little while, so you're safe for a little bit.
Wait, comrade's back.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, I am back. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I am back.
My accent messed up. If you couldn't tell, it was me and Ladessa the whole time, now that we explained it to you.
Really?
Yeah!
We wouldn't have known.
You did such a good job!
I had no idea.
They need an Emmy for that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Moving back to what you're...
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Good night, girls.
All right.
night,
Good night, girls.
Night.
Okay. For those of you in the
I drink.
and for those of you in the chat, normally we have it so people can call in. We had a technical difficulty here this evening, and anytime I try to hook the phone lines up, you can't hear Robin or Jason.
Oh, no.
So, therefore, we have no phone lines tonight.
Aw,
But,
that's okay.
but that's all right. The girls had my private number.
Aw.
That's because they have Jason's phone.
Yep.
That's why. But I gave it to them.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see the chat.
No, I didn't see the chat.
Because Dee said, check your messages on Facebook. The girls want to call in. I go, we can't.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Well, of course you do, Sydney. because you want them to get you stuff.
So this year is going to be kind of a make or break busy year for us. By December 31st, our goal is Robin's. That will be Robin's last day at her job, and she will be home full time. We recently just got out of debt of everything except for the house, and we still do the superhero thing, and in fact, we're taking the superheroes and turning them into a nonprofit, and I'm on the board.
I think that's awesome.
But right now we have to do it all. We have to visit the children all via the Zoom. We do the Zoom things, and so we do that. And Robin has some major gardening goals this year.
Yeah, well, we took down all the trees in the middle of the front pasture there. And so we're going to hopefully have the full front garden that we'd kind of laid out last year. We found out very quickly that there was just too much shade to grow anything in the first part of those beds. And so we took out all the trees. Jason's cleaning that all out right now. And then hopefully we'll have a bunch of stuff growing there. I want to do corn and okra. I want to do like a row or two of okra. So like 50 plants. Like I'm ready for some okra. So we'll have a lot.
Well, are you looking to market this like at a farmer's market type thing? Or
Not necessarily at a farmer's market, but in all of the traveling that I do, I've been in sales now for like 3 or 4 years. And so I've established a lot of relationships with people over the years, learning who I am, not just selling granite. And so a lot of my customers will tell me, hey, if you ever have any extra, I'll be more than happy to buy them from you. So we're looking at being able to establish some of those kind of connections to
almost like a little CSA or
yeah.
Okay.
I personally want to get back. Like when we were in Augusta, we had one restaurant that we would sell to.
Okay.
And there was no stress involved in that. We got to know the chef very, very well, and so we would sit down and talk with him and grow what he was really looking for. And he would take the extra eggs off our hands. He would take 2 or 3 pigs a year off our hands. The Muscovies he would take, and it was because sometimes when you start planning some of these things and you start going, okay, well, I'm going to do a market garden. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then all of a sudden you don't have customers for it, or that customer runs into hard times and now you've got this box that you can't unload,
Well, a good example is COVID last year. We were very much on the way to hooking up with a restaurant, getting ready to visit with literally had set up meetings to be able to sit down with the chef and the owner to be able to start to do that last year. And then restaurants closed down, So, hopefully by this time next year, we'll be able to sit down with those same people and try this all over again.
Yeah. Because one of the things about our area, our location, that is a huge, huge blessing for us with this thing. Because at the end of the day, YouTube is a tool. Okay? And YouTube helps you get your information out there. It helps you get, it helps you educate. It helps you entertain. Basically get your brand out there. That's what I was looking for. But most of everybody's customers, whether you're making soaps or selling chickens or vegetables or whatever, it's going to come from your local community. And one of the blessings that we actually have, we are dead set, almost smack dab in the middle. We have Athens, a college town, UGA, over on this side, which is about 45 minutes away. and you go on the opposite side at about an hour and 15 minutes away, you got Clemson. Then 2 hours, you got Atlanta. Hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, you got Augusta. So we're in a really, Anderson's 30 minutes away.
Greenville's an hour and a half.
So we're in a very good location to be able to reach out to a lot of these farm-to-table restaurants. Robin and I also on Sunday or Saturday, I think it was Sunday, we went into Anderson, and at their local farmers market, they were having like a big shindig kind of thing. And so we stopped and we met up with the guy that was throwing it. He was a pastor at a church, and we hit it off tremendously. We told him how we were part of a group in Augusta that went in and basically changed a neighborhood that lived in a food desert, and we taught all these people how to grow out of raised beds and can and preserve their harvest, and how the test scores in the kids went up, their attendance went up at school, the crime rate dropped, their property values went up because people were no longer stressing about food, and they were getting good, healthy food, which means they were healthier, they were feeling better, and so that they could focus on, a kid with a full belly is going to pay attention in class a lot. Stands a lot better chance of paying attention in class than a kid on it with an empty belly. Yeah. And so how we wanted to try to do that up and around in here is just not very welcoming yet in this area. And that's one of the things that he's starting to do. So we're going to be reaching out with him this week or next week, and we're going to try to start getting something like that going. And so we may have to do some fundraising for it, just like we'll probably have to do with the superheroes and stuff. But it's one of those things that it's great to come on YouTube and kind of fluff our own feathers a little bit and say, we're pretty much sustainable. The only thing that we can't cover is flour, sugar, and salt.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's another thing to be able to do that and then pass that blessing on to another community, another neighborhood, where they can then become sustainable and work together as a unit and be able to grow everything that they need for that community to flourish. It wasn't I know right now the 1950s is just looked on as just horrible times in the United States with the big divide that we got going on. But one of the things that people fail to realize is that back in the 50s, just about everybody had a garden. Mm-hmm. And they were honest to goodness communities. You knew who your neighbors were. You knew who the neighborhood children were. You knew where they lived. And there were block parties back then where they would just shut the block down and everybody would do a potluck. And when you go into some of these lower income neighborhoods, it's very the housing is run down. There's a lot of high crime. There's a lot of things, but a lot of it is because they live in a food desert. These people it's cheaper for them and more affordable for them to go and buy McDonald's than it is to feed their children good, healthy, clean food.
Yep.
And so we want to, one of the things
and not even clean, healthy food. Just even buying a head of broccoli, even if it's been commercially produced, is still going to be more than a 2-liter bottle of Coke. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And it's one of the things that Robin and I both have felt since we have started this, that was our calling. That when we get to where we are, that God has called us to go into different neighborhoods and get them going and try to eliminate food deserts. You know, I mean, I would love to be able to put McDonald's out of business, but that would never happen. At least not in my lifetime. You know, but to be able to go into a neighborhood and completely change it and watch property values go up, watch children's grades go up, their attendance in school go up, you know, all these things, positive changes is one of the things that I feel that God has laid on our plate, and that's on our mantle for us to do. And we're pretty much, you know, 11, 12 years later, we're there to where we can actually start to go out and do these things.
Yeah.
We just got to find a neighborhood that's going to let us.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, outlooks, maybe plans on solar?
Which one are you asking? Because we have a divided house a little bit on that one.
Oh, one side is sunny and the other side is not? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm all in with solar. I would love, like, one of my main goals by 2025 is to get rid of my natural gas. Our local Elberton company has a monopoly on the natural gas in this area, and the prices are outrageous. We do not use enough of the natural gas for them to bill us, so they came up with a minimum usage fee that they charge us, and it's like $35 or $50 a month just to have their stuff on the side of the house, because we don't use really a tremendous amount of gas for them to really, you know, make any money off of us. So they hit us with all the other fees and then a minimum usage fee, because the only thing that we have on natural gas is the hot water heater and our stove. And so single dad, when all of this COVID stuff calms down, is going to come down and help me change the hot water heater to a tankless one, and we're going to put a couple of 100-gallon propane tanks out on the side of the house, and that'll be for the they'll have like one or two out there for the hot water heater, and then I'll put one or two up in the front part of the house for the stove. And then I'm completely done with the natural gas. I'll just have to run and go get propane once or twice a year. I would love to be able to get completely off of the electrical grid, but there is a lot of back and forth whether or not the state of Georgia will let you disconnect from the grid. A lot of the solar companies are saying you're still going to have to be connected to the grid. That's just Georgia law. And so,
and then they get to determine how much they pay you back or don't pay you back. And it's just, it doesn't seem like a wise investment at the moment, but I think, you know, really solar is still, I mean, I know it's been around for a while, but I think it's still fairly new as far as all of the different rules and regulations and different things. And so, and yes, it has gotten more affordable, but it is still pretty pricey. So, I think the goal for us is to kind of just keep an eye on it, and then maybe, you know, start with one thing. Like we've talked about, like doing our pump for the well, you know, start there and then go to, you know, something else and just kind of do it a little bit at a time.
Sure.
So that may be an option.
You know, and that the house might always be on the grid, but like my shop,
well, that's pretty much exactly what I was going to say. Is that shop you could easily have that, so you could shut the breaker off, so it's not on the grid, and run it through solar.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have to shut the breaker off. All I'd have to do is unplug it. By the way, it's jerry rigged out there right now.
It's plugged with an extension cord.
It's an extension cord and about 800 splices that go to it. And to be able to run it properly, it would cost me more than going to go get one of them big propane generators, the big $5,000 generators.
Yeah.
And connect that thing
way
to the shop. Now that's a possibility long term, something that we would like to do, because then we can also, one of those big mamma jammas, it would be able to power the table saws. Mm-hmm. Robin said I'm allowed to get a welder.
What?
Oh, really?
Yes, when Caddy Wampus was here, you said I can get a welder.
Like $100 welder if you could find one.
What kind of welder?
Huh?
What kind of welder are you looking for?
I'm a MIG welder.
See, I'm not allowed to weld anymore.
This is the person you need to talk to, Jason.
Happy birthday to me. My birthday was just...
Yeah, his birthday was last week.
Just saying. I didn't even get a phone call. You can make it up by bringing me a welder.
I sang to him, Daryl.
Well, you're good at, if I'd sing to him, he'd still be in the hospital or something.
That's funny.
I mean, we already have something in the back of the truck for him.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we didn't have, if you had just regular rear wheel drive.
I'm not sure Jason knows about
this.
This
is the wonderful thing about his memory. See, he doesn't even remember it. So it's going to be like a present.
The look on his face, like, what?
Okay, well, we won't say any more about it then.
What are you up to?
Nothing. You're the one that told him to do it.
But I'm sure a welder might fit next to it.
I don't know.
No, that's pretty big, isn't it?
It is pretty big.
Can you lay it down?
It is laying down.
Oh.
How do you think?
Well, it'll fit in the camper.
Yeah. Not.
Right up underneath the table.
What table? Smudge's cage is on the Smudge's cage is on
the table.
Thank you, Robin. Yep. Mm-hmm. We
don't have
just
put it in the center of the bed.
right there.
Yeah. Just lay it on the bed.
Right there in front of the refrigerator.
There you go. I mean, tarps are good even for goats.
Yep.
Oh my God. Tarps are good even for goats.
Okay, so everybody in the chat here can wish Jason a happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
His birthday was last week, and then last Wednesday was Mama Z's.
Yep.
Oh, they had birthdays together.
Mm-hmm. No,
Jason's was first.
Oh. Yeah. Is he older?
Blaze and Mama Z are on the same day.
No, he's not. Yeah, Blaze's was last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. And that's what Mama Z's was.
Yes.
He said it was the same day.
Right. My sister's was last week.
Same hospital?
I don't think so. Mama Z was born in Texas. Brenda wants to learn how to weld.
Was born in Arkansas, Kansas. Speaking of Kansas, somebody asked if we were going to go to the Kansas meetup this year.
Kentucky meetup.
That's what I said.
You said Kansas.
I said Kentucky.
Okay.
No.
And
he didn't.
Right now, I think we're going to try.
Oh.
Yeah. Because right now, the only conference that we're going to that is 100% definite is Homesteading Life.
August. Mm-hmm.
In August. Yep.
And we will be at that one. And for those of you that can't make it, we'll be doing a live stream from there.
Yeah, that's right. Darren's was last Monday.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We sang happy birthday to
him.
Yep. You know, it's either a blessing that the phone lines don't work, because I know Darren was probably just thinking of all kinds of jokes all week this week.
He's been saying them in the chat instead.
Yeah. But so I think we got a pretty exciting year planned here for us this year. It's definitely there's going to be we have changed just since the last time y'all been down here.
Yeah.
We have changed so much already. That, like, the hay barn, remember the hay barn?
Oh, you had a barn?
Well, it was kind of like a lean-to.
Right there where we were doing this Skovich check.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that's almost
completely
gone now.
Oh, really?
Darren says his ears are still bleeding.
There used to be a Jeep in it.
Nope,
Jeep's not in it anymore.
No, but it used to be. That's the one you're talking about. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Jeep was up in the shop last time we were there.
Yep, it's still tucked into the shop.
And that poor tractor was just sitting outside.
Nope, that's
not anymore.
That's in the shop. The whole top of the motor is off. I pretty much gotta look to trying to find, because in that 8N they made it to where a farmer could do the complete rebuild.
Right.
So it's not a bare cylinder in there. It's this like metal sleeve.
Right.
That you pull out, and then you can just slide another one back in instead of having to get it boarded or anything. And so I'm in the process of trying to find those, and I'll take the bottom part. I was thinking about just taking the whole motor out and just completely ripping it down, but I'm probably not going to do that. I'm going to drop the oil pan, get all of that nastiness out. I'll probably replace the oil pump. Just because I don't even know when the last time that thing has even been looked at or anything.
Maybe we should put a call out to Hank. See if he could do a Will It Start video.
Who's Hank?
Hamiltonville
Farm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he can come up.
When I get done with it.
Maybe he can come up and do a Will It Start video and get it going.
Well, Jason can also do a Will It Start video.
Well, yeah.
And it is just one of those, like, I already broke one bolt off in the block that I'm going to have to drill out. And, because I think the last time this thing had really any maintenance done to it was when it was all put together back in the,
back in the shop.
Back in the 40s. Mm-hmm. But I'm really excited about it. It's not a big project that has to get done right now. So when I have some downtime, I go out there and I tinker with it a little bit. And so, but right now I'm in the process of, remember those old green, shelving units that were beside the TV?
Yes.
Yeah, they're stripped down now. They're going to get stained. We're putting another one across the bottom. The living room is all one color. Sherry, did you ever find that picture?
No, I sure haven't.
Okay. Well, the next time you come down, Daryl, you're going to have to take a picture with your deer.
With John Deere.
Okay.
Look kind of sad.
What I'm doing is I've got all three of those bucks across the back wall, and then I've got my picture of the night that I harvested mine. My aunt is looking for. We know that there's a picture somewhere of Papaw when he harvested his, and we asked if you guys had a picture of when you harvested yours.
No,
but there's no. So we're just going to have you take a picture standing beside it, and maybe we'll take some Scotch tape and tape like how they did De Niro in The Irishman, try to make it look younger.
And put a wig on him.
We'll just tape all this stuff back like that.
Put a wig on him.
Put a curly wig on him.
Oh, that's funny.
You know.
Vineyard Chicks, what's up?
And so and then I'm gonna frame those. I'm gonna build a nice frame for those pictures, and then I want to put them up underneath each deer.
Each one of the deer.
That's why people can know which one is mine, and they're like, "You killed all of these?" No, that one was killed in 1960 something. I wasn't even born.
Yeah.
Just like I needed. You even remember when you harvested that buck?
Probably in the 70s.
I'm going to guess it was probably about 74, 75.
Right around when you were born.
Right when I was born, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because I want to put in a date and time frame with it. Because, I mean, these things get passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation. You figure Papa's deer was hanging in his den. When he passed, it went to my mama's house. My mama gave it to me one year for Christmas. That was my Christmas present. And so now he's hanging in my house. And it's still in really good condition. We take good care of it. And that'll be something that, it'll go to which one of the three, which one wants it.
Have you looked?
I was going to say, I'm going to have to probably look to see because our children have, I love my kids, but they're mental.
No, they just pay attention.
And, they have already started staking claim on things. And you ask them, well, are you saying you want us to die? And they're like, no. But if you die in a car crash,
this and this and this.
They literally have started writing stuff on the bottoms of things. And the reason they did that is because several years ago when my grandmother and my grandfather passed away, my mother had actually put they had gone through and started putting their names on stuff, but they had done it at my grandparents' request. Right. Look, we're in our 70s or we're in our 80s, whatever. Go ahead and work it out amongst yourselves what you guys want. And so when they started to, my grandfather passed and then my grandmother was kind of downsizing stuff, she sent me something and it still had my mother's name across the bottom, which was really cool. And then there was something else that had my name on it. And so she shipped those things to me. And so the girl saw that.
And it was like, bing!
And so now, every once in a while, you'll just see something and it'll have Carol's name on it or Ladessa's.
They are terrified of me sanding down the dining room set because they know I'm just going to have to
go back in and chisel my name in there again.
Carve my name back in there.
So
my mom did that with quite a few of her items. She put whoever she wanted to have the item. She did that.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, look, this is how I'm going to have it written up in the will. It's everything's going into a big pile. And then there's going to be a paintball war. So you and your husband and your kids will be against Ladessa and her husband and her kids and Blaze and his wife and their kids. Last one standing gets first pick. And then it'll trickle down to the second and then the loser gets the last pick. Period. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it's going to happen.
Yep.
And so they're already talking about buying old Jeeps and mounting paintball guns on them so they can just drive up to the thing. So,
who's doing that? You can't prove anything. It's all Photoshop. Somebody's got your phone.
That is too funny. Yep. Your kids.
That's Carol.
Oh,
I love our children.
God.
Just love them. And on that note,
time to take the phone away from them.
Yeah, it's about time. It's almost 11 o'clock.
Yep. Robin
flies.
Yep. Robin has to work in the morning. You're pushing it there, Big Bear Homestead.
But we do. We have there's 30 people in here right now, and I don't know if all of y'all are subscribed to us or not. If not, we'd love to have y'all come on over and watch our videos. And we just ask, hey, leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, hey,
tell us you didn't like it.
Tell us. Just say this video sucks. We have thick skin. Plus, all the comments are up for review. I'm just going to delete it anyway. But seriously, leave comments. Help us get that interaction going because YouTube is changing the rules again. So the more comments and interaction, thumbs up, thumbs down we get, the more it'll help our channel. And we also have an open gate policy here on our homestead. You want to come visit us, we would welcome you with open arms. You want to come visit us? Hey, reach out to us, send us an email, a message on Instagram, whatever, and we'll set it out. We'll figure out a time where it works best. We'll make sure we're here, and we'll give you a homestead tour and probably feed you if you stick around long enough, because that's how we got Sydney, and he just never left. And,
he just never left.
Yeah. And so Robin fed Sydney the vegan fried chicken.
Yep. Sleeps on the couch with the dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we got a new couch. We got a new couch and a new love seat. So when you come now, you actually have a place to sit down. That's comfortable.
Yes. This is true.
Yeah.
Not enough sexy thumbnails.
He's just jealous because he couldn't get on an outboard table and strike a pose like that. But yeah, like whenever Australia opens up and he's allowed to travel.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be coming. He said he's going to come visit, and so that's going to be some fun videos and stuff to do.
We'll be down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you guys are always welcome, and we love having visitors. Why? Because Robin and I have kids, and we homeschool and we homestead, so we don't get out to have adult friends, and so we would rather talk to grown-ups about other things other than the airbender and physics and
algebra,
or if you turn on a show on Vikings or something like that, and then all of a sudden you have a kid that's just into all of that kind of stuff, wants to give you the whole history of Ragnar, and you're like, I just want to watch this ship. I know,
but that's not right. I don't care.
Stop ruining the show.
Or put tables out in the front yard and have dinner by candlelight.
Yep, that's going to get started up here again pretty soon.
That was cool. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm going to take out that big stump. That's one that's standing out there. That's going to get taken out this week. And we're going to end up putting some tables out there. I'll probably end up, if lumber ever comes back down to normal people prices, I would love to be able to build my own big table out there. Like I was telling Robin, I said I would love to have a big table. And I don't know if a lot of people remember this old TV show, The Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, my son got me into that.
Yes. And that table, when they go to church, that big table, and it has their logo, whatever, in there.
Yes.
I would love to have our Big Bear Homestead logo, the triangle one, in the center of a big table, and then put some clear epoxy over it. And so then that way it could be kind of like an outside dining table, or even switch them out and do that. Switcheroo and have that one in the house. But that's going to be a pretty big CNC machine.
Jujubee, Mommy, what if the trees are really harming us, giving us enough oxygen until we die and become compost for them? This is what I live with. I love adult conversation too. We've been there. Totally been there.
Well, kids, it's we've been on a couple hours here now.
Robin has to get up and go to work in the morning.
And somebody's got to go to work.
She has to go drive.
So I don't want you to hang up, but I want to know if you got any final thoughts here for the folks that are out there.
Plant smiles.
Crow giggles.
And harvest the love.
Sherry?
I love his ending.
Sherry?
I just enjoyed it. I'm so ready to get that camper where it's not winterized and back on the road. What do we have to do to it? You said the brakes?
I would like to do the brakes. Yeah. So anyway, special
thank you to do the brakes too, because stopping is very
important.
Yeah, exactly.
Special thank you to our moderators. Very special thank you to those folks that are members of the channel. Appreciate all of you. Remember, do something today that'll make tomorrow better than yesterday. So with that,
see, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I have good ones.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So
like the other week he got me because when he was closing out, remember folks, you can't lick your own elbow. And I was like, bull crap.
And he tries it.
I'm in the living room and I'm like, I can stretch this. And Ladessa comes in and she's looking at me. She's like, what are you doing?
okay.
Papa Daryl said I couldn't do this.
We have to announce that Thursday night, April the 1st. It's not April Fool's.
Well, sort of.
But we are having a very, very special Monday Night Live, and we're going to have
Stony Ridge Farmer.
Josh from Stony Ridge Farm is going to be here at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Thursday. So with that, everybody have a great evening. Take care, and we will see you Thursday.
Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.
Good night. God bless.